Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Wendy Chen. Thank you for joining us. Coming up in today's show, city volunteers and medical staff in Thailand are coming together to celebrate the opening of a new DaAi farm. In Taiwan, the love and care of city volunteers is helping Wang Jiayu and her children cope with the loss of their loved one. And we learn from one of the Amis tribe, the Sarawak, how their fortune way is not only healthy but also environmentally friendly. As it is still winter in the southern part of the planet, South Africa's city volunteers travel to the landlocked country of Lesotho to distribute rice and cooking oil to the needy. Beginning this year, Lesotho has been suffering poor harvest due to little rain, and local residents don't have enough food to survive through the cold winter. Thankfully, Tsiji's help arrived just in time.
At 7 o'clock in the morning, 4 trucks full of aid supplies travel from Ladybrand, South Africa to Lesotho.
This is today's first rice distribution in Lesotho. There will be 3 sessions today, morning, noon, afternoon.
Wrapped in thick blankets, the local residents waited happily for the arrival of the aid supplies. Since the bad weather conditions this year resulted in poor harvests, many families were left in hunger.
We accept the love from Tsiji. They give us the means to help ourselves, and we can spread the love to others.
A truck driver also helped with the distribution. This time, everyone will receive 2 10-kilo bags of rice and cooking oil. Local volunteers also helped those who couldn't carry the relief items home. As volunteers brought aid supplies for them, the locals wanted to reciprocate the love and give the volunteers self-made straw hats as presents.
In November 2011, Zhou Wenliang, a Tsiji volunteer in Thailand, while on a trip to Taiwan, received the blessing and wisdom envelope from Master Zheng Yan. Upon receiving the red packet, he was informed the rice inside was actually the harvest previously planted by Tsiji Hospital's medical staff. To encourage the Thai people to make the same contribution, Wenliang and the superintendent of Wat Pling Hospital, Tsai Wang Lun, began drafting a plan of a DaAi farm in Thailand. After some searching, they found a farm around 20,000 square meters in size, whose owner was also a nurse. She later agreed to rent the farmland to Tsiji at a low price. At the opening of the farm, Wang Lun led medical staff in the planting of rice seedlings. The harvest will be shared with patients, inmates, and Tsiji care recipients.
Getting their bamboo baskets and the farming tools ready, Tsiji volunteers, along with the superintendent and medical personnel of Wat Pling Hospital, are about to experience working in the fields. These are seeds of love, which after harvest will be given to patients in the hospital and inmates in the female prison.
I realized that the rice we plant will be given to people in need and inmates. Therefore, I want to give what I can and contribute just like others. When I found out that we are going to plant seeds in August and that the harvest will be in December, I really wanted to be part of it because my parents are also farmers. Therefore, I changed my shift with my co-workers.
I'm very happy because I saw so many people coming to help. Here you can experience the labor of farming.
To help everyone learn the skills behind running a farm, Tsiji volunteers ask local farmers to teach them how to plant rice seedlings. Feeding the volunteers' care and love, the delegate of the group of inmates from a female prison in Ratchaburi expresses her gratitude.
We'll always keep in mind the love that has been instilled in the rice. We truly appreciate your love and care.
The DaAi farm, as a role model of organic farming, will be growing crops 100% free from pesticides in hopes of giving the best quality rice possible to the poor and sick.
In Taiwan, Tzu Chi volunteer Cai Liulian, born in Pingdong's Wangliao Township, moved to Taipei in 1985, a year after she got married. The couple began making a living by selling glutinous rice at a traditional market. Last year, after joining the sign language performance of the Water Repentance Sutra, she realized that her way of killing animals to earn money was wrong. So she decided to start selling vegetarian sticky rice instead. She says she's happy to be able to promote the benefits of vegetarianism.
吃素很好，对啊，好在哪里？现在就是慢慢就会把那个吃肉的都改变了。
Cai Liulian sells vegetarian sticky rice in a traditional market and sees every opportunity to promote the benefit of going meatless. Her neighbor at the traditional market even decided to eat at least one vegetarian meal per day. We have known each other for 20 years. Before, she sold meat. Now, she only sells vegetarian food, but the taste hasn't changed at all. It's still as good as before.
I feel most happy when I hear customers say that they have started to be vegetarian because of my vegetarian food. This makes me even happier than earning a lot of money.
In order to let people experience the good taste of vegetarian meals, Cai Liulian carefully studied the cooking process of vegetarian food. After joining the performance of the Water Repentance Sutra, her and her husband decided to sell vegetarian sticky rice.
Why do we need to kill to satisfy our appetites? Gathering bad karma like this, how do we dare to eat meat again?
Cai Liulian's husband says that after being a vegetarian for a whole year, his gout has not reappeared. And even in the 7th lunar month, Cai continues to promote the benefits of vegetarianism.
Staying in Taipei, Taiwan, Tzu Chi volunteers in the Songshan district held a blessing ceremony last Sunday, August 18th. Prior to the event, volunteers went door to door to send out invitations and vegetarian cards. Apart from encouraging residents to use flour and fruits to replace animal offerings and refrain from burning joss paper, volunteers also seized the opportunity to promote vegetarianism. Here at the Fuyuan Park in Taipei's Songshan district, Tzu Chi volunteers are holding a blessing ceremony for the 7th lunar month, in which they have invited community leaders to participate. It is a custom for many to celebrate the 7th lunar month with the burning of joss paper and animal offerings. However, Tzu Chi volunteers hope that through leading borrowheads, they can inspire residents to change their past habits.
We take the money that was going to be used to buy joss paper and offerings and put it inside this lotus bag, which we will then donate. We will put the receipt in there and give it back to the resident.
This auspicious month event is really wonderful. It helps the residents understand that the 7th lunar month is not as scary as we thought. By promoting this idea, we won't be as scared or as frightened emotionally.
Apart from promoting no burning of joss paper, volunteers also share the benefits of vegetarianism in hopes of calling on everyone to safeguard the planet.
After listening to Brother Huang's sharing on the ways to safeguard the planet, I'm planning to take a vegetarian card and go on a meatless diet to help our planet.
At the blessing ceremony, Tzu Chi volunteers and community residents pray sincerely for all sentient beings and a world free from disasters. In our series of feature reports on Love is Around, we learn the story of Wang Jiayu, who was married to Taiwan from China's Hainan Island. Unfortunately, Wang's husband passed away last year from a heart attack, leaving their children in her care. Thanks to a neighbor who contacted Tzu Chi, Wang found the strength to go on with the care she received from the volunteers. The mother says she's grateful to Tzu Chi and her employers who supported her through this low point in life.
The uncle is here to take a video of me riding on my bike.
The boy rides around in the market and finally runs home when he is tired. Folding dumplings, Wang suddenly is reminded of her deceased husband.
My husband passed away early last year. He died of a heart attack on the third day of the Chinese New Year. He passed away without leaving any words behind.
Without her husband, Jia Yu had to look for jobs to support her family.
I never thought of abandoning my children. I came all the way from Hainan Island to Taiwan. My husband passed away, but I never think of abandoning them. Not really, because the Tzu brothers and sisters have given me a lot of help.
Knowing Jia Yu's situation, her employers were willing to let her bring her children to work.
We're neighbors and friends, so she helps me and I help her.
Jia Yu's son runs around in the market picking up dumpling skins from his mother. Yi Zhong has gone missing 3 times in the past. Luckily, everyone helps Jia Yu look for him. Jia Yu's other employer, Wang Jianzhong, even helps her take care of her children.
She's like my family. I told her to work for me. Sometimes she's busy when her children are off from school and the school bus will drive the children here. She still needs to work at the dumpling shop, so I told her that her children can stay here while she works at the other place.
Jia Yu is very thankful for her employers who provided her with jobs and Tzu volunteers who have reached out with a helping hand.
When my husband passed away, the Tzu brothers and sisters came to visit me and my children very often. When I had to bring my children to work, it was the lowest point of my life. I will never forget the hardship I went through. When we support her, it is like giving her a helping hand and giving her the strength to carry on.
To make sure Jia Yu can work free from worries, the volunteers encouraged Jia Yu's oldest son, Yi Bo, to attend a children's workshop and even found a kindergarten for her youngest son to attend. Thanks to the volunteers, this family has felt the warmth and concern of society.
To help children learn to empathize with those physically challenged, the Tzu Kindergarten in Bayan Lepas, Malaysia, held various activities where kindergartens were blindfolded for the whole day. Let's take a look.
The Tzu Kindergarten in Bayan Lepas, Malaysia, held a series of activities to let the students understand what it feels like to be physically challenged. The children experience how it is not being able to move their hands or being able to speak. They learn to be grateful to their parents for giving them a healthy body.
If we only tell them that blind people can't see, they're not able to understand it fully. It's too abstract for them. Through this way, they can understand what it means to be blind.
The Christian St. Nicholas Church in Penang is not only a church, but also a school for the blind and visually impaired. The students here are between the age of 6 to 77, and most of them are congenitally blind. Visually impaired students learn handiwork here, so they are able to work and earn money for the future. The kindergarten children visit every classroom, and the blind students give their self-made artwork to the children. Though they may not be able to see, they are still capable of making beautiful items.
I think these blind people are very brave. Even though they don't see anything, they can still do so many things.
able to see should be appreciated and not taken for granted.
As summer holidays nearly over here in Taiwan, and students will be returning to school soon, which means that the needy families will once again have to face the heavy burden of tuition fees. While handing out scholarship aid for the upcoming school year, Banqiao Tzu Ji volunteers also took the opportunity to remind care recipients to prepare for the then approaching typhoon.
Before Typhoon Tianbin lands in Taiwan, Banqiao Tzu Ji volunteers are quickly visiting the homes of their care recipients. They stopped by Miss Tian's home to present her with scholarship aid and also to ask about her ankle.
You look to be in better health. How's your leg? Oh, your ankle is swollen. Yes, it's swollen.
Since her husband passed away in 2005, Miss Tian has been making ends meet by cleaning houses. Before the new school year starts, volunteers arrive to offer some financial assistance. The scholarship aid certainly relieves some of Miss Tan's financial problems, and volunteers also remind her to avoid going out during typhoon days to reduce the risk of injury.
During the typhoon, safety should be paramount. Doors and windows should be closed properly, and you should avoid going outside, since your mobility is hindered right now.
Besides visiting the Tan family, volunteers also paid a visit to another care recipient family, reminding them to prepare for the typhoon.
This time the typhoon is heading straight for us, and behind it is another one. Please be careful.
The various Amis tribes of Taiwan have long supplemented their diets with the foraging of plants and berries. In tune with the seasons, they have discovered a diet that is variable throughout the year. Recently, their foraging ways have come under closer scrutiny by experts who have been looking for ways to help lessen the effect of what looks to be an upcoming grain crisis. We now take a look at members of the Sarawak tribe who, despite moving to the densely populated Taoyuan County from the mountains of Hualien, are still successfully continuing on with their foraging ways.
We need to pay close attention as to whether these are edible or not.
The two sisters work on scaffolding at construction sites, yet whenever they long for their ancestral home, they travel to mountains to find a taste of home.
It has been a long time since we have eaten bagu, so went into the mountains to pick some. This mountain is more or less like our garden.
Foraging has long been a part of the Amis tribe's culture. Villagers only take what they need in order to leave enough for others. Greed and over-harvesting are discouraged to ensure that the mountain will always be a source of food. 73-year-old Zhang Jingcai is the tribe's pastor as well as head chief. He takes his visitors on a trek through the hills before finding this tree. Zhang teaches his guests how to recognize the world around them through touch and taste. By seeing, labeling and tasting, a firmer memory is created.
You can't eat it directly. Try it.
Armed with knowledge of the natural world, members of the Amis tribe know what to look for with each season and where to find the tastiest morsels of the forest.
Good.
With a grain crisis possible in the near future, some experts have been looking into the foraging ways of the Amis as a possible bottom line for food security. Miriam Garvey, a professor of ecological economics from Sweden, and Professor Lu Jianming of Taiwan see the tribe's foraging ways as extremely valuable tools for modern-day life.
Half a bag. My grandfather, he was a fisherman. So you would always know if you pick the small ones, you put them back because you think about the next year and the next year and the next year. Yeah, so I think this way of using resources is a very important way. Yeah, I think we should definitely make sure to teach the young generation, to pass this over to the young generation. That's really important.
Returning to the village, this mountain slope behind the village is a gold mine. On it, a variety of edible plants can be found.
Yellow rotang palm is considered one of the tastiest plants we know. It is hard to get your hands on it.
In order to pass on this valuable knowledge, the chief of the tribe devised a chart with details of which plants can be eaten in the different seasons.
As you can see from the chart, almost every month, different wild and edible plants can be found. Foraging for plants has always been part of the Amis tribe. They have so much to choose from. When one goes out of season, they look at which is the next one that's ready to eat. It goes on like this throughout the whole year.
Amis cooking uses various array of ingredients, but rarely adds spices. Their culinary style echoes their lives, which are lived simply and in tune with nature. We go to Singapore at the end of our program. 68-year-old Grandpa Du, who lives by himself, was involved in a car accident 10 years ago, and his left leg was amputated. In the past few years, the elderly man also suffered high blood pressure and diabetes. Timber medical staff not only paid regular visits to keep an eye on his health condition, but also recently gained approval from the senior to clean his house. We'll leave you with these images. Thank you for tuning in. Goodbye.